Movie buffs, welcome back to the Movie Bay. This is Date. In today's video, we're going to take a look at 10 movies that'll make you cry. Now, before we dive into this, some of these movies, it may not be the whole movie that make you cry. Most movies that make you cry, the whole movie don't make you cry. But I'm going to do a couple of honorable mentions at the end. There's two movies that I do not have. I've seen them, but I just don't have them in my collection. They're going to be honorable mentions. They will be added to the collection soon. And I'm going to omit all movies that discriminate on the lines of race because, yes, a lot of those, I would say 90% of those movies will make you cry at some point. To see people treated that way will bring tears to your eyes. But I don't want to, I could do a separate video on movies on like slave movies, movies about the Holocaust, things like that. So those aren't in this. This is just movies that will make you cry for reasons outside of race. One of these movies might be a little bit on the race side. Now, there's a couple of these. I know for a fact one is going to deal on discrimination, but it's not on lines of race. And one, it's got a racial component to it, but it don't go deep into the woods on race, okay? Well, actually it do, but I had to throw this one in. But I didn't want to pick a lot of movies like slave movies like Rosewood because they make you cry, but they also make you angry. I can do a whole video on movies that make you angry, such as Rosewood, Amistad, Schindler's List. Those movies do make you cry, but they also make you fighting mad too. So again, those aren't here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at 10 movies that'll make you cry. And there's going to be a couple of honorable mentions because I just don't have them. If I had them, trust me, they'd be on this. But let's go ahead and dive in. Starting with The Green Mile. The Green Mile will definitely bring tears to your eyes. I don't give a damn who you are, how big you are, how thug you are, how tough you are, how many guns you got. The Green Mile will definitely make you bawl out. And it's not just one part of the movie. There's several parts of this movie that will make you cry. So The Green Mile. Next up is Precious. The way this girl was treated by her own mother and her father and just the world in general was a fucking disgrace. This movie, again, this is another one that will make you angry. I'm trying to not put movies in there to make you angry because this shit will make you really mad, but it will also make you cry for her. You know what I'm saying? Her mother, which Monique did a fantastic job at playing her mother. She did such a good job in making you just want to like really reach your hands through the screens and throw her ass out of a window. I'm sorry for cursing. It's just the thought of this movie makes me angry. You see why I didn't want to include a lot of those movies, but Precious, this movie will definitely make you cry at the way this girl was treated. Just shameful. But again, because this movie invoked so many raw emotions in the people who saw it, it just really speaks to how good the movie was. Any movie that can invoke this kind of response, I'm not even watching this movie and thinking about it angers me. This was a really good movie. It was a very controversial movie, but it was a really good movie. It was well acted. I mean, it was crazy, but it was done right. They achieved what they was going for. Next up is one that I found particularly sad. It's called Meet Earl and the Dying Girl. A really sad movie. A really good movie. It's a coming of age movie. It's a sad coming of age movie. It really is. There's a couple of those. I mean, you got My Girl. There's a couple of we'll talk about honorable mentions at the end. Next up is one that really had me just done. Like, it had me done the first time I saw this. And the fact that it was based on a true story, it's just crazy. Hachi. This movie is all about the loyalty between a man and his dog. But it's so sad. It really is. Now, this is a movie that is legit sad and it just doesn't invoke sadness with anger. It's just emotionally sad. It's a really powerful movie. If you haven't seen Hachi, I would recommend all of these, to be honest with you, but Hachi. There's still quite a few people out there who never heard of Hachi. Oh, wow. Here we go. Goodwill Hunting. Definitely a sad movie. A good movie, but it definitely, brings out some emotions. Armageddon. The whole movie isn't sad. This is one of the movies where it's really sad at the end. The ending is so freaking sad. The whole movie is excellent. It's a great movie. I love this movie, and the fact that it didn't make my list for top 90s movies, I'm like, wow, are you kidding me? But this is a good movie. Just because it didn't make that list don't mean I don't feel this is a good movie. It's a phenomenal movie, but the ending is very sad. It's always crazy when you see a Hollywood tough guy die at the end of a movie. It's crazy. The Pursuit of Happiness, probably one of the saddest movies I've ever saw. This, in my opinion, now Will Smith got a lot of great works out there, tons. He's got so many great movies, but this, in my opinion, is his greatest performance out of everything, out of the Bad Boys, out of the Independent Days, the Enemy of the State, all of that stuff pales in comparison to his performance in this movie, alongside his real son. This movie right here, there's so many scenes in this movie that will make you cry. This probably is, out of this 10, this is probably the one that will make you cry the most. Almost nonstop tears. You will probably need a bucket next to you watching this damn movie. Meet Joe Black. Another really good movie. Again, not the whole movie, but a decent part, especially when you move into this is a long movie. It's about 3 hours. So it really start getting really deep into the emotional woods, I would say, in that last hour. But this is a really good movie. It's one of my favorite movies, and it's definitely one of my favorite movies. This isn't the first time that Brad Pitt and Anthony Hopkins teamed up. Both outings was excellent. I mean, you got Legend of the Fall, and you got this. Both of them was just excellent movies. But this one right here, as you get into the later portion of the movie, it gets really sad. And in the end, will just have you just crying like a baby. Fantastic movie. Here go one. Now, this one deals with discrimination. I tried to leave that out, but this one, I had to throw this one in. This movie right here, it's crazy. It's called Philadelphia with Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington. Man, wow, what a powerful movie. It deals on discrimination against HIV. This is right when HIV was really at the forefront. You know, HIV is still a thing, but this was back when it was really at the forefront, and this one back when people was basically still afraid of AIDS, when it was just the boogeyman. Not so much nowadays. Nobody wants it, but it's not what it used to be. It's not the boogeyman no more, and it's not an automatic death sentence like it used to be. Philadelphia, this is a fantastic movie. If you never saw Philadelphia, and if you're a person of a certain age, I can understand if you didn't, but if you didn't, you might want to go ahead and check this one out. Denzel Washington, Tom Hanks, Antonio Banderas put on just a stellar performance. And last but not least, Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman, The Bucket List. The end of this movie, yo, is so sad. I mean, especially when Jack Nicholson reads the letter that Morgan Freeman left for him, so Morgan Freeman passes away, and then you see it cuts to a scene where Jack Nicholson is in the back of his limo or his private car, and he's reading a letter that Morgan Freeman left for him. I'm not going to dive too deep into it. Just, you need to see this movie. And when he reads that letter, it is so sad, so emotional. It's just a really good movie. But again, the end is what breaks you down with this one. So that's 10 movies right there that will make you cry. We didn't talk about any slave movies or anything like that, or any movies that really fixated on the racial stuff, because those movies are sad and they do make you cry, but they make you cry and they also make you very angry, make you want to fight. So honorable mentions, there's 2 honorable mentions that I don't have, that I couldn't pull down for you guys. One is The Notebook, a phenomenal movie. The ending, the whole movie is somewhat, not the whole movie, I say the second half of the movie, it's kind of sad. It really is. But the ending is just, man, that'll break you down. The ending of that movie was very sad. Also, Boy in the Striped Pajamas. Wow, just, oof, man, I don't know why I don't have either one of these in my collection. The Notebook, I could have had that one a million times. I always see it. The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, I don't really see that in store. If I want that one, I would definitely have to order it. Now, I did see it on the streaming service. It's a very powerful, sad movie, because Any movie that deal with children in that way is sad, especially when it involves children. I think The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, if that movie involved adults as the key characters, it would have been sad. But the fact that it was children, just wow. So, yeah, and also Titanic, honorable mention to Titanic. The ending of Titanic was just another one. But there's a lot of movies that invoke those kind of emotions in us, but I can't bring them all out, can't list them all, don't have them all. But these are the ones that I have. These are my honorable mentions. These are 10 movies that will make you cry. I'm D. This is the Movie Bay. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for stopping by.